Okay, so today is Monday, and you're going to be looking over this section since you are remote today. It says I can take notes over the four different styles of writing and submit a picture on Google Classroom. I have actually extended this beyond the four, but I originally only had four. So here's what we're doing in class today. We're talking about the Unit 1 for college writing. I said that there are four main types of writing in which most of your college assignments are going to naturally just align or fall into these. The four types are narrative, informational, research, and argument/persuasion. I would also like you to add to that literary analysis and argument analysis. So those are two more different types of writing. All together, there are actually narrative, informative and explanatory, persuasive, argumentative, research, literary analysis, and argument analysis. And those, we will go through those in this class, basically in quarter one, like we talked about last week. In addition to the varied writing styles, there are three different expectations for writing and citing the sources that you write about. There are MLA, APA, and Chicago style. So you've worked with MLA before. Most of you have heard of APA, and then Chicago style is kind of this weird one that mostly historical documents use. We will not get into Chicago style since I did not see the need to do that for your beginning college classes, but we will get into APA. When writing, regardless of the assignment, you should always consider the task, audience, and purpose for writing, which is going to be our lesson for tomorrow, but you will be in person for that lesson. College writing expectations also include planning and execution of public speaking. So not only does English language arts or English or communications, whatever your college will call your English courses, not only do they expect you to be able to write, but they also expect you to be able to publicly speak about what you write as well. So to start off, we're going to talk about narrative writing. Those are usually personal stories or essays. They can be emails, they can be blogs, reflections, or reviews. These are typically going to be where they are coming from an I perspective or a first person perspective. Sometimes will contain dialogue or quotes, usually pretty descriptive in nature. The next one is informational or explanatory, and usually this is either a process text, it can be cause and effect, it can be a summary, an article, an interview, or an analysis. So where this analysis piece falls into informational writing, that's where these ones come in, these argument analysis, literary analysis. They fall under this informative/explanatory umbrella. Though they are different, a little different than just informing, they do fall under that umbrella. So that's why there's technically only four, but I would like to talk about them as separate pieces to get you ready for college. The next one is research. So usually a research paper is usually about pros or cons, to compare and contrast. It can be a historical background. It can be providing answers to questions, usually those research questions. And you've all done this before, where you've had to come up with research questions and then do the research and then write the paper. These all fall under the research category. And last here, we have argument persuasion. So those are two different things, as we've talked about in the past and we'll talk about again. But the goal is to change another person's perspective, identify the problem and then find solutions, defend a position, and support a claim. So those are your main types there: narrative, informational or explanatory, which includes your analysis piece, research essay, and argument and persuasion. So those are what we're going to be focusing on for most of quarter one. And you should be able to differentiate between what they are. You should be able to look at a piece of writing and know if it's a narrative, informational, research, or argument persuasion. Now, some of these cross lines sometimes. For example, your final essay you write in this class will be a researched argument. So you'll be hitting both of those categories. Sometimes people do research before they write a narrative so that way they can be more descriptive about a specific place. Sometimes people do research before they write informational so that way they are able to accurately inform or explain something. So they do cross paths, but you should be able to know the difference between them, or at least be able to explain to me what they are.